Hi guys, Ethereal Awakening here, doing individual zodiac sign readings. This one's for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your North Node. The energy today was crazy. Like at the beginning of the day was great, and then sometime around noon Central Standard, it just like went from great to giving up. Like riding cloud nine, everything I imagine in my life is coming my way, and then all of a sudden it's not worth it. Like the feeling of complete hopelessness for the future. And I'm jumping right into these readings to see what that was all about, and help give some insights. So, Spirit, what messages do we have for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Virgo. Spirit, what messages do we have for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Virgo. Spirit, what messages do we have for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in the sign of Virgo. Alright, Spirit, that feels good. Let's get into this one. First two cards are current energy. We got the Sun card, along with the Three of Swords. This to me is, there's a belief. I'm talking to some Virgos who think that love hurts. You may not be admitting that to yourself right now. I'll see in the underlying energy. Do a peek. I don't know with that card. I usually have to draw 3 for underlying energy. But I won't do that yet. But that being said, my gut reaction when I see the Sun next to the Three of or if it's not, I mean, I kind of oversimplified it. Not that maybe love hurts, but that your happiness isn't worth it. Like, and with that energy I felt earlier in the day, that kind of kept me from doing readings for a minute, and then I decided I gotta help. If I can give a message that helps, I gotta do it. So, because I mean, it left me kind of sitting there like, wait a minute, like, no, I know my ships are coming in. So this must be a collective thing, and so I know that means today's been a rough day for a good majority of folks out there. And when I look at this, it's like, yeah, it's like love hurts, or your happiness doesn't matter. It's not worth the effort to seek out your own happiness. Your heart space, the Tower, with 6 of Pentacles. Every time, yeah, this is like, when I look at this, I'm like, my happiness isn't worth it. Like, your heart wants you to stop thinking that. Like, the way, when I was younger, through the, because I recognize now at the level of initiation I'm at, that when I look back and I would have negative inner dialogue, the bad things that we say to ourselves when we think nobody will know or say, well, this is kind of like your higher self coming through. Like, when I was younger, I would say, oh, you're not worth love anyway, or to myself in my head. But there would be this other voice in there, like, right as soon as I would say it, they would be like, yes, you are. Like 3 seconds before I could finish the negative sentence, that positive, and I mean, and as I got older, it got more like, shut up. Like it really just, as I got older, it was just more like sometimes I felt like I was just getting a face. Like, I would be like, damn, I know I'm not worth that. And then I could just feel my higher self like, oh my God, we're doing this again. And since July, I have not had any negative inner dialogue. My subconscious has been rewritten. It is possible. Keep at it. But that's kind of like what I'm getting when I look at the Sun with the Three of Swords. It's like my happiness isn't worth it. Negative inner dialogue that you talk to yourself. And your heart is trying to get you to be fair. Like, stop it. Stop telling yourself that shit. Because that's what it is. It's shit. It's not true. It's a lie. Possible outcome, the Queen of Rods, along with the Moon. So, this is like this possible outcome where, you know, your heart is just ready to end the bullshit. Your heart is done hearing that you're not worth it. That self-pity. The Queen of Rods doesn't sit in self-pity either. So on the other side of self-pity is fear. Fear of doing the necessary work to stop saying that shit about yourself. Because at the end of the day, those negative inner dialogue comments that we make to ourselves they're reinforced by the negative situations and surroundings that we find ourselves in because we have them in the first place. So, despite what front you put on to everyone else, those innermost thoughts that you're having that you think nobody hears, they manifest in your surroundings by the relationships and the circumstances, situations that you're in. So there's your direct. That is the direct manifestation of the way you feel about your insides being manifested outside of you. So here you're getting the external validation for your internal thoughts. See, I'm right. So what in this process needs to be changed? Those inner dialogues. Your heart is heavy from having to carry around this unfairness that you're exhibiting to yourself. Now, your underlying energy, or what you might not be aware of, the Three of Pentacles, along with Justice and the Six of Rods. Okay, so as for underlying energy, speaking on to what I was saying, yeah. Justice is right there in the middle. Can't get more balanced, fair than karmic. I mean, this is, this is God's law. This is the law of karma. This is nothing happens by mistake in God's world. That's what the Justice card represents. Her sword has the truth. Her scales hold the balance. And that's that necessary, like I was talking about, when we have the negative inner dialogue, even though we think nobody hears it, we get to reinforce what we think negatively about ourselves with all of the situations and circumstances we find ourselves in. Because once we remove that thought, if I no longer think that I'm not worth it, once I don't find myself surrounded by people who treat me less than, I don't allow that into my being. I don't allow, the first sign of somebody who is going to be less than caring, less than compassionate, less than, appreciative, they don't, no. That doesn't come into, that frequency doesn't match, it repels. I am a triggering person. I trigger a lot of people because I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what you need to hear. And I will not in my surrounding anymore be condemned by another person's poor opinion of themselves. That is your journey, and I have been on my journey, and I know that those pits of despair are exactly where a lot of us need to be to come out of them. Walking away is one of the greatest gifts you can give someone. But this is the gift of giving yourself the victory over that negative inner dialogue. The victory over the fear of what's on the other side of it. Well, if I don't have these people around me, then I'll be by myself. And you won't be in negative situations. You'll change. You can have an opportunity to clear your mind and actually see that the negative thought processes you have can be changed. You can look into it. We have computers that have the internet, and we can learn about ourselves on levels that we never used to be able to do. There's no excuse. There's all kinds of people that are validating processes to go through to rewrite subconscious programmings and to really change behaviors and old patterns that are no longer serving you to be the true divine creatures we're meant to be. And so when you look at this, when I look at this underlying energy, what you want to come together is coming together exactly as it should. Whether you want to remain in the negativity or whether you want to come out of it. Your heart is asking you to. Your heart is saying, please come. Look, the 6 is right there with the Tower. You got the 6 of Rods and then the Justice. Your heart's ready for you to start being a little more fair to yourself, Virgo. I got a new deck that I'm going to pull one clarifier for each position. See how right I am. All right. I give it this. This one. You're being stubborn and pig-headed on that current energy. The Sun with the 3 of Swords. The Emperor is backing that up. You got your foot down. Like, I'm not worth it. That's a pig-headed way of being. It's too you're being too hard and stubborn on yourself with yourself. And then your heart space. Oh, back there. The 5 of Cups. This is exactly what I'm speaking on when you have that victimhood mentality. When you're sitting in a pity party. And that's in your heart space. The Tower's there with it. That is the spiritual prompting to end that and bring some balance and fairness in. 5 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles. And the outcome. Oh, dang. I did not mean to do that. But that's your card right there. The Queen of... Shut the front door. Well, the Queen of Rods has now doubly confirmed this possible outcome. The fear of what's on the other side, the fear of changing, the fear, driving through that fear. That's 2 Queens of Rods to clarify this possible outcome. This is all fear-based off of a negative inner dialogue. You have the Queen of Rods she's not fearful. The Moon is her confidant. It guides her ebbs and flows. It releases all of the tensions that she has through the day by being who she confides in at night. So opening yourself up to that fear, is it a true fear or is it artificial fear? Like, unless a bear's chasing you, really, what do you have to fear? Yourself. And then underlying energy. Man, you can't I can't make this stuff up. This is the 6 of Rods. Confirming the 6 of Rods, the Justice card, and the 3 of Pentacles. So you got the 6 of Rods twice in your underlying energy and the Queen of... So you have nothing to fear here, Virgo. Victory has been doubly confirmed. You need to restore some balance. You need to quit being so hard on yourself. Get out of the victimhood and the pity party and recognize that that inner dialogue is exactly manifesting all the situations and circumstances you're finding yourself in. So if it's the inner dialogue that's doing it, let's change that into a positive inner dialogue. Hope this has helped, Virgo. See you next time.